Cedar Hill, Missouri. A quiet, middle-class town surrounded by forests, small lakes, and long stretches of empty road. The kind of place where everyone knows everyone, or at least they think they do. But in the summer of 2019, this peaceful town would become the center of a mystery that would haunt America for years. A woman disappears without a trace, leaving behind a husband who claims innocence, a town divided by suspicion, and a trail of secrets that lead much deeper than anyone expected. This is the story of Emily Sanders, the woman who vanished from Cedar Hill. It was June 14, 2019, a Friday night. The temperature was warm, 82 degrees, with a hint of rain in the air. Emily Sanders, 32 years old, was a nurse at St. Louis General Hospital. She had just finished a double shift and texted her husband, Ryan, that she was on her way home. Text message, 10:42 p.m. Emily, leaving now. Be home in 25 minutes. Save me some of that pizza. Ryan replied with a thumbs-up emoji. Nothing seemed out of place. According to Ryan, Emily never made it home. By midnight, Ryan began calling her phone. It rang twice, then went to voicemail. By 2 a.m., panic started setting in. At 2:37 a.m., he called 911. Ryan, recording. My wife should have been home hours ago. She's not answering her phone. Her car's not in the driveway. This isn't like her. Police arrived at 3:15 a.m. They took the report, reassured him she might have stopped somewhere or fallen asleep at a friend's. But by sunrise, everything changed. At 7:12 a.m., a local jogger found Emily's car, a white Toyota Camry, abandoned near Lake Waverly, just 10 miles from their home. The driver's door was slightly open. Inside were her purse, phone, and hospital ID. The engine was off and the keys were still in the ignition. There was no sign of Emily. Detective Lauren Briggs, a 14-year veteran of the Cedar Hill Police Department, was assigned the case. When she arrived at the scene, something immediately bothered her. Briggs. It didn't look like a robbery. It didn't look like a struggle either. It looked staged. The car had no fingerprints except Emily's. No tire marks around, no footprints leading to or from the lake. And then, there was one strange detail. The driver's seat was pushed all the way back. Emily was only 5'4". Whoever drove the car last was much taller. When detectives questioned Ryan later that morning, he appeared shaken but calm. Ryan, we've been married 7 years. She's my world. She wouldn't just leave. But by that evening, something began to surface. Police found out Ryan had been texting another woman, a co-worker named Samantha Cole, the night Emily disappeared. And one of those texts, sent just 30 minutes before Emily left work, read, Ryan, wish you were here instead. That discovery changed everything. News spread fast. By day 2, every local outlet had the story. Headline: Nurse missing in Cedar Hill, husband under scrutiny. Neighbors organized search parties. Social media lit up with theories, some blaming Ryan, others suggesting Emily staged her disappearance. But what nobody knew was that Emily had left behind a voice memo on her phone, recorded less than an hour before she vanished. And when detectives finally accessed it, they heard something chilling. Detective Lauren Briggs sat in the dimly lit interview room of the Cedar Hill Police Department, reviewing Ryan's text messages on a tablet. It was the next day, June 15th. Emily had now been missing for more than 24 hours. Among hundreds of ordinary texts, one thread stood out between Ryan Sanders and Samantha Cole, a marketing assistant at his company. The messages began friendly, then flirtatious, then unmistakably romantic. Samantha, you make me feel things I haven't in a long time. Ryan, it's like we were meant to find each other, but I can't leave her, not yet. Detective Briggs stared at the screen, expression unreadable. She'd seen this before, infidelity buried under fake concern. But something about Ryan's tone didn't match the usual patterns. He didn't seem panicked. He seemed guilty. At 10 a.m., police brought Ryan back in for a second round of questioning. Briggs, you said you were home all night, correct? Ryan, yes, ma'am. I watched a movie, then went to bed around 11. Briggs, can anyone confirm that? Ryan, no, I was alone. That statement became a red flag. Phone tower data later revealed Ryan's phone had been offline for 2 hours, between 10:45 p.m. and 12:45 a.m., the exact window when Emily vanished. When confronted, Ryan claimed his phone died. But investigators soon realized something odd. His charger was still plugged in by his bedside table. Briggs, voiceover, he was lying, we just didn't know why. Not yet. 2 days later, detectives questioned Samantha Cole. She admitted to the affair, her voice trembling. Samantha, he told me he wasn't happy, said they fought a lot, but he never talked about hurting her. Ryan loved her in his own way. Still, investigators discovered Ryan had taken out a $500,000 life insurance policy on Emily just 2 months earlier. She didn't know about it. That changed everything. News outlets began circling the story like vultures. TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, everyone had a theory. He did it for the money. She ran away from an abusive marriage. The mistress knows more than she's saying. The hashtag #LaurcherFindEmilySanders hit over 5 million views in 3 days. But the truth was far from what anyone imagined. Because just when police were about to arrest Ryan, something unexpected surfaced. Surveillance footage from a gas station 20 miles away showed Emily's car passing through after midnight. But behind the wheel wasn't Ryan. It was a woman. Long hair, Detective Briggs leaned back in her chair, staring at the grainy footage. She replayed it over and over. There was something familiar about the driver's hands. And then it hit her. Emily was left-handed. The woman driving the car was using her right hand for everything. Briggs, quietly. "Who the hell are you?" Detective Lauren Briggs sat in the dimly lit interview room of the Cedar Hill Police Department, reviewing Ryan's text messages on a tablet. It was the next day, June 15th. Emily had now been missing for more than 24 hours. Among hundreds of ordinary texts, one thread stood out between Ryan Sanders and Samantha Cole, a marketing assistant at his company. The messages began friendly, then flirtatious, then unmistakably romantic. "Samantha, you make me feel things I haven't in a long time." Ryan, "It's like we were meant to find each other, but I can't leave her, not yet." Detective Briggs stared at the screen, expression unreadable. She'd seen this before, infidelity buried under fake concern. But something about Ryan's tone didn't match the usual patterns. He didn't seem panicked, he seemed guilty. At 10 a.m., police brought Ryan back in for a second round of questioning. "Briggs, you said you were home all night, correct?" Ryan, "Yes, ma'am. I watched a movie, then went to bed around 11. Briggs, "Can anyone confirm that?" Ryan, "No, I was alone." That statement became a red flag. Phone tower data later revealed Ryan's phone had been offline for 2 hours, between 10:45 p.m. and 12:45 a.m., the exact window when Emily vanished. When confronted, Ryan claimed his phone died. But investigators soon realized something odd. His charger was still plugged in by his bedside table. Briggs, voiceover, "He was lying. We just didn't know why. Not yet." 2 days later, detectives questioned Samantha Cole. She admitted to the affair, her voice trembling. "Samantha, he told me he wasn't happy, said they fought a lot, but he never talked about hurting her. Ryan loved her in his own way." Still, investigators discovered Ryan had taken out a $500,000 life insurance policy on Emily just 2 months earlier. She didn't know about it. That changed everything. News outlets began circling the story like vultures. Twitter, YouTube, everyone had a theory. He did it for the money. She ran away from an abusive marriage. The mistress knows more than she's saying. The hashtag #LaurcherFindEmilySanders hit over 5 million views in 3 days. But the truth was far from what anyone imagined. Because just when police were about to arrest Ryan, something unexpected surfaced. Surveillance footage from a gas station 20 miles away showed Emily's car passing through after midnight. But behind the wheel wasn't Ryan. It was a woman, long hair, baseball cap, alone. The timestamp 12:14 a.m., 30 minutes after Emily left work. Was it her, or someone trying to look like her? Detective Briggs leaned back in her chair, staring at the grainy footage. She replayed it over and over. There was something familiar about the driver's hands. And then it hit her. Emily was left-handed. The woman driving the car was using her right hand for everything. Briggs, quietly, "Who the hell are you?" Ticking clock, rain tapping lightly on windows. The next week was chaos. Search teams combed through the woods, divers searched the lake, and flyers flooded the town. Emily's mother, Carol, arrived from Illinois, her face pale and trembling. Carol, tearful, "She was my only child. She was planning to have kids next year. Please, just find her." Meanwhile, Ryan's behavior grew stranger. He refused interviews, avoided cameras, and when reporters approached him, he snapped, "Ryan, you people don't know anything. You think you're helping? You're not." Public opinion turned against him fast. But then, a shocking development. June 21st, a fisherman at Lake Waverly called 911 after noticing something floating near the reeds. Police arrived. It wasn't a body, it was a bag. Inside were women's clothes, a cracked phone case, and a piece of torn fabric soaked in blood. DNA confirmed the blood was Emily's. The discovery reignited the media firestorm. News anchor, voiceover, Police now believe foul play is involved in the disappearance of nurse Emily Sanders. Her husband remains a person of interest. Detective Briggs went back through the evidence. Everything pointed to Ryan, except one small overlooked clue. In Emily's last recorded phone activity, at 10:45 p.m., she had sent a short message to an unknown number. "Emily, meet me there." The number wasn't Ryan's, and it wasn't Samantha's either. It was registered to a prepaid burner phone, and when police traced it, the owner stunned everyone. It belonged to Detective Michael Harris, a fellow officer on the Cedar Hill police force. Detective Lauren Briggs sat alone in her office at midnight, staring at the report. The burner phone traced back to one name, Detective Michael Harris, her partner, her friend, the man who'd been by her side since the first day of the investigation. She read the evidence over and over, trying to find a mistake. There wasn't one. The phone was purchased 3 months ago under a fake alias, Miles H., and the same number had pinged near Emily's apartment 2 nights before she disappeared. Briggs whispers, "Mike, what the hell did you do?" At 8 a.m. the next morning, she confronted him privately in the precinct parking lot. "Briggs, I traced the burner. It's you, Mike." "Why?" Harris, frowning, "You're reaching." Briggs, "Don't lie to me. You've been covering shifts, disappearing for hours, and now this." He said nothing, just looked at her, eyes dark, jaw tight. Finally, he sighed. Harris, "I knew her, okay? Emily, I met her last year. She came in to report a domestic dispute. Ryan hit her." Briggs, "You didn't file that report." Harris, "She begged me not to. Said it would ruin his career. She just needed someone to talk to." Briggs' stomach tightened. Briggs, "You got involved with her, didn't you?" Harris, "It wasn't like that. She needed help. She said she was scared he'd find out she wanted to leave." Briggs, "So why the burner?" Harris, "Because she didn't trust anyone, not even me. We used it to keep her safe." He claimed Emily planned to leave Ryan on June 14th, the night she vanished. She was supposed to meet Harris near the old Waverly Bridge, where he'd arranged to drive her to a safe house out of town. But she never showed up. Scene shift, flashback sequence, dim bridge lights flickering, clock striking midnight. Harris stood by his car, phone in hand. He called twice, no answer. At 12:13 a.m., he received a final text. "It's not safe, he knows." Then silence. Back to present. Station hallway, heavy silence. Briggs stared at Harris, unsure whether to believe him. He looked haunted, but too calm. Briggs, "You should have told me from day one." Harris, "And say what? That I fell for a married woman who begged me to protect her? You'd have thrown me off the case." She didn't answer, but deep down she knew, if his story was true, someone else must have found out about their plan. Someone who didn't want Emily to leave. That afternoon, Briggs requested a full search of the Waverly Bridge area. For hours, officers swept through mud and overgrowth. Nothing. Then, just as the sun dipped behind the trees, a rookie found something half buried near the shoreline. A wedding ring, engraved with the initials ES plus RS. Emily's ring. But what chilled them wasn't the ring itself. It was what they found a few feet away. A second ring, smaller, plain silver, engraved with a date, May 7th, the day Emily first met Detective Michael Harris. Cedar Hill PD was chaos the next morning. News had leaked. A lead detective romantically linked to missing woman Emily Sanders. The department suspended Harris pending investigation. He walked out of the precinct in silence, avoiding cameras. Detective Briggs, meanwhile, found herself under fire too. Reporters questioned her credibility. How could she not know her partner was personally involved with the victim? But Briggs didn't care about headlines. She cared about one thing, the truth. And that truth was slipping further away. Briggs alone in her apartment, late night. She replayed Emily's final text message again. "Meet me there." She cross-referenced tower data, timestamps, and vehicle movement logs. Then something strange appeared. The signal from Emily's phone jumped locations, from her apartment to the bridge, in under 4 minutes. Impossible by car. There had to be another explanation. So she requested access to a traffic cam on Cedar Hill Avenue, the road leading to the bridge. And there it was. A dark SUV following Emily's car. No license plate. Tinted windows. When she enhanced the footage, a faint reflection appeared in the windshield. Just enough to see the driver's silhouette. It wasn't Ryan. And it wasn't Harris. It was a woman. The same right-handed driver from the gas station footage. Briggs realized she had missed one crucial fact from the beginning. Emily wasn't just running from her husband. She was running from someone else entirely. Someone who knew where she worked, where she lived, and how to track her without being seen. The next day, she pulled every hospital employee record connected to Emily's nursing job. That's when she found it. a name that appeared in multiple staff rosters, patient sign-ins, and even hospital maintenance logs. Dr. Ellen Maple, Emily's supervisor, a quiet, brilliant neurologist with a history that no one had bothered to check. Her brother, Dr. Leonard Maple, had once been arrested for illegal medical experiments involving mirror neurons and human consciousness. The same research connected to the now-defunct Maple Foundation, and suddenly the reflection-based clues from Emily's apartment started to make sense. Briggs, softly. "Oh my God, this wasn't just a domestic case. This was a cover-up. The woman in the mirror wasn't a ghost. She was the echo of a secret buried too deep to stay hidden." Detective Lauren Briggs hadn't slept in days. Emily Sanders' disappearance had spiraled into something far darker than she'd ever seen, and it all led back to one person, Dr. Ellen Maple. Briggs visited the Cedar Hill General Hospital under the pretext of following up on patient records. When she arrived, she noticed something unsettling. Every mirror in the neurology wing had been covered with black tape. Briggs, to receptionist. "Why are the mirrors covered?" Receptionist, uneasy laugh. "Dr. Maple's orders. She said it interferes with the scans." Briggs frowned. "Scans of what?" The woman hesitated, then whispered, "Patients who report seeing themselves move differently in reflections." Maple's office, dimly lit, lined with strange medical equipment. Dr. Ellen Maple greeted her with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. Late 40s, calm voice, every word carefully measured. Maple, "Detective Briggs, I was wondering when you'd come. You've been chasing shadows. Don't you want to know what they mean?" Briggs, "I'm not here for riddles, doctor. I'm here for Emily Sanders." Maple, "Ah, Emily. She was very special, sensitive, intuitive, the perfect candidate." Briggs, "Candidate for what?" Ellen turned her monitor. On screen, surveillance footage from an old research facility labeled Project Mirror. Dozens of volunteers sat in small rooms, each with a mirror in front of them. Electrodes connected to their heads. Monitors tracking their brainwaves. Maple, voice soft, eerie. "We were studying mirror neurons, how empathy works, how we recognize ourselves in others. But something unexpected happened. Some participants began hearing echoes, voices repeating their thoughts, slightly delayed." Briggs leaned closer. "You're saying their reflections talked back?" Maple, "Not their reflections, their memories." Ellen continued, showing Briggs another video, time-stamped May 2021. The subject, Emily Sanders. She sat in the chair, electrodes on her scalp, staring into a mirror. Technician, off-screen. "Emily, describe what you see." Emily, "Myself." Technician, "Anything else?" Emily, "She's smiling, but I'm not." Briggs froze. The video ended abruptly, static. Briggs, quietly, "You used her." Maple, "She volunteered. She wanted to forget something. We gave her that chance." Briggs, "Forget what?" Maple smiles faintly, her guilt. Briggs demanded to know where Emily was. But Ellen only said one cryptic line, "Look where the water meets the glass." That night, Briggs returned home shaken. She covered her bathroom mirror, unplugged every reflective surface, but still, she could feel someone watching. When she turned off the lights, faint static buzzed from her laptop screen. She opened it. A video file she didn't download was already playing. Emily's voice, whispering, "Lauren, if you see this, don't trust anyone, not even your reflection." Image of Emily appears, pale, trembling, looking straight at the camera. He said he could erase memories, but some things don't want to be erased. Then the feed cuts to black. Briggs sat frozen. Emily wasn't dead. She was somewhere, trapped in whatever Maple had created. 3 months later, Detective Briggs resigned from the force. She told colleagues she needed silence, but silence never came. Her apartment became a map of obsession. Photos, files, and a single phrase scribbled on her wall. Project Mirror lives through sound. One night her phone buzzed. Unknown number. A distorted voice whispered, "You can't hide reflection in darkness." She traced the signal. It came from the abandoned Maple Foundation Hospital, shut down years earlier. Briggs enters hospital with flashlight. Dust hangs in the air. The walls hum faintly, like electricity pulsing through them. In a back room, dozens of mirrors stand propped against the walls, each connected to old tape recorders. She presses play. Emily's voice comes through, broken, distorted. "He told me the mirrors don't record images, they record choices." Briggs whispers, "Whose choices?" A faint echo answers through the speakers, her own voice but from a past recording. "Yours." Briggs realizes she's not just investigating the case, she's part of it. Her voice, her actions, even her memories are being replayed inside this system. In the corner, one final tape is labeled Exhibit 12B. She presses play. On screen, footage from her own body cam from months earlier. But the reflection in the mirror shows something impossible. Emily standing behind her. Emily whispers, "It's not over, it's just beginning." Then, the lights shatter. Some say Briggs vanished that night. Others say she became part of the experiment, the final subject of Project Mirror. But every November 6th, residents of Cedar Hill report the same thing. A faint static whisper behind every reflective surface. Sometimes it sounds like a woman crying. Other times, it's just your own voice. 1 year after Detective Lauren Briggs' disappearance, the Cedar Hill Police Department quietly closed the case. The files were marked unsolved. No body, no suspect, no answers. But on the anniversary of Emily Sanders' vanishing, her mother received a package. No return address, just one line written across the front. For Carol, when the glass goes quiet. Inside was a USB drive and a small water-stained photograph. It showed Emily standing by the edge of Lake Heron, smiling softly. And behind her reflection in the water, another woman's silhouette. Carol's living room, curtains drawn, faint static from the TV in the background. She plugged in the drive. The video began to play, distorted audio, occasional flickers of static. Emily appeared on screen, pale, trembling, eyes swollen from crying. She was sitting in what looked like a hospital room. Bare walls, a single mirror behind her. Emily. "Mom, if you're seeing this, I need you to know, it wasn't Ryan. Please don't hate him." Carol gasped, hands trembling. Emily. "I was part of something I didn't understand. They said they could erase pain. I just wanted to forget what he did. But not all pain should be erased." Pause. She looks away, voice breaking. "Emily, they made us stare into our reflections for hours. Said it helped the mind rebuild itself. But after a while, I started hearing my own voice answering back." She wipes a tear. Emily. "Mom, the reflection. It learned. It became me. It wanted to be free." Emily. "So when I tried to run, it stayed." For a split second, the reflection behind her moves independently, smiling as Emily cries. Emily whispers, "I'm not sure if I made it out that night. Sometimes I think I did. Other times, I think I'm still in there." Then a timestamp appears, November 6th, 11:47 p.m. A new video clip begins. It's from Detective Briggs' missing body cam, the last known recording before she disappeared. She's standing by the edge of Lake Heron, flashlight shaking in her hand. Rain pouring down, Briggs shouting into wind, "Emily, if you're here, show me something." Her reflection in the water ripples, but doesn't move with her. Instead, it smiles. Emily's voice echoing faintly, "You wanted the truth, detective. Look deeper." Briggs kneels, touches the water, and a hand bursts through the surface, grabbing her wrist. The camera spins, falls to the ground. Her flashlight rolls, illuminating the rippling reflection, now showing two women, one above, one below, both whispering the same word. "Remember." The next morning, locals found Briggs's badge floating near the shore. No body, just her reflection, seen for a moment in the lake's surface, before the ripples faded. The lake, they say, still remembers. Every November 6th, the water reflects two suns at dawn, one in the sky, one beneath the surface. And if you stand too close, you might hear a whisper that sounds like your own voice, saying, "I never left." Maybe Emily wasn't lost. Maybe she was mirrored, a memory preserved in the glass, waiting to be seen by those who still believe in her story. Because sometimes, the reflection doesn't copy you. It keeps you,